I can see the lenses moving right now. It's pretty cool. I need this on every headset.
That's an auto IPD adjustment, and this headset also has integrated eye tracking and foveated rendering and more. But let's roll the intro first. This is the Vario Aero, and it is the highest fidelity PC VR headset anyone can buy right now. I'm not kidding, and you know I've reviewed many headsets before, but there is a catch. It's for the prosumer, so I'll be upfront to tell you that this headset isn't cheap. One of these is $990 US, but there is a reason. It packs a punch. So I've had early access for the past 3 weeks thanks to Vario for loaning me a review unit. It's gonna go back after this review, but before that, let me tell you everything about it. This is my full review. Please leave me a like because I might need to sell my liver after this. Subscribe for more VR content, and now join me beyond reality. So Vario has been in the industry for a while. They've released several high-resolution mixed reality and virtual reality devices for the enterprise. Their unique selling point? True-to-life visual quality. They claim to recreate the exact feeling and conditions of real life by offering the highest resolution headsets. Pretty big claims, but when I tried their headset at events, they did deliver. However, since these are for businesses, they also came at a great cost. For example, the Vario XR3 is available for $5,500 US, and then there was this required subscription of $1,500 a year too. This is where the Vario Aero comes in. Vario's first move from enterprise to the VR gamer, although they are targeting enthusiasts like those into flight or racing simulators, but also creators or just people with expendable money. So is it worth the price? I'll let you know today. Let's start with the part that got me very excited, a feature you won't find on other headsets yet. It has integrated eye tracking with 200Hz sub-degree accuracy, and this gives us 2 advantages. One, it can detect the distance between your pupils automatically, so that's your exact IPD, and then a motor in the headset will automatically move the lenses to match that, which will give anyone using the headset the best clarity they can get just by putting it on. The supported range for this is 57 to 73mm, and this feature is great as many people don't know their IPD, especially if you show it off to new people. But okay, an enthusiast probably does know, so here comes the second advantage that's cool for anyone. The eye tracking allows for 1-dot calibration for foveated rendering, so what you're looking at is constantly tracked, enabling the software to make whatever you're focusing on sharp. Everything outside the focused area will be made blurry, which by the way you won't notice much as you're not looking there. This has the benefit of reducing the PC resources needed for the best possible visual quality. So you're able to use lower spec PCs than headsets with the same resolution without foveated rendering. This is a huge plus for a high resolution headset like this one. Of course, eye tracking will also be interesting for social VR games or for devs that can use the eye tracking data to enhance our games. And once your eyes are calibrated, this combination works so well. Sometimes I can see what everything looks like without the correct IPD and no foveated rendering because the eye tracking thing is not calibrated yet. It is then that I realize how uncomfortable that is. In Vario software, you can trigger the eye calibration whenever, and you can show others this creepy footage of your eyes too. This is so funny, but I'll talk more about the software later.
I'm currently looking at like my monitor or something, and I think the colors are even better than my own editing monitor in real life.
Then the display is also something special. It offers dual mini LED LCD, a whopping 5760 x 2720 pixels total resolution at a refresh rate of 90Hz, and the colors and contrasts look good. The blacks aren't as deep as OLED, but it's a ton better than the LCDs we have on other headsets. These are just some beautiful screens. I don't notice anything weird in the display, it just runs smooth, like mwah. The lenses are custom-made variable resolution aspheric lenses. The sweet spot feels large and there are wonderfully no noticeable God rays or glare at all. Clarity is almost edge to edge, only at the far edges it becomes a bit blurry and I notice chromatic aberration. I have to repeat though, it's almost edge to edge clarity. Honestly, it's pretty much insane how good this all looks. But the lenses are shaped in a way that makes the field of view quite small. The marketed field of view is 115 horizontal degrees and 134 diagonal at 12mm eye relief, but with the headset at my comfiest, this is what I'm getting. As you can see, I'm getting lower values. This is personal and will vary per person, but it is smaller compared to other headsets side by side. And if I try to increase my FOV by putting the headset closer to my face, I seem to be able to see the top edges of the display as I see strange fringes when I look up. This does not bother me while gaming though. When in-game, I'm pretty much just astonished at how good everything looks. But before we move to gaming and performance, let's talk about the other side first, the design. Say hello to the glossy front. This is actually iconic to Varjo's headsets, which I think is beautiful. The strap is unique too. It has a 3-point fitting with the usual back dial, forehead strap that also has a dial. Then there are 2 dials on the sides that can bring the front closer to your face. Then the cushions have some wiggle room, which is nice, but the only thing I don't like about the strap is that there are no springs, so I need to dial the back strap every time I want to put on the headset. The face cushion is made of polyurethane, it is removable and easily cleaned. It's a nice soft structure that feels quality, something our faces definitely deserve. Little nose flap here takes care of the light bleed. There's almost none. And do glasses fit? Yes, glasses fit in there as well, just make sure they don't touch the moving lenses. The headset is big though. Without the strap it weighs 487 grams. The headband weighs 230, totaling it to 717 grams in total, and that makes it one of the heaviest out there. Still, once I found the sweet spot with the strap, it is very comfortable for hours at a time, because the forehead strap holds most of the front heaviness, which is a smart move. I've spent hours in this headset and it has stayed comfortable throughout, although after like an hour, there is a prominent mark on my face. But this is actually a nice bridge to gaming and its performance. So the PC system requirements for the Varjo Aero is as follows. Not the most lightweight PC, yes, I know, more about performance in a bit, but the headset comes with a 5-meter USB-C cable attached to a breakout box with a DisplayPort and USB-A 3.0 cable. These cables are connected to your PC, and to turn it on, it needs a power cable and plug. Then you also need SteamVR tracking. Versions 1 and 2 are both supported. This does mean it gets more expensive as you need to buy the sensors if you don't have it yet. But SteamVR tracking is still the best and the most reliable out there, so there isn't much to say here aside from it being more hassle to settle than Quest 2's inside-out tracking. So I've been using the Valve Index base stations and Index controllers with the headset, and I played various games like Lone Echo 2 and Microsoft Flight Simulator. Gotta say, Lone Echo 2 in this thing is absolutely gorgeous. I played most of the game with the Varjo and I noticed that I just didn't want to go back to the Quest 2 anymore, which is interesting because there hasn't been a headset that made me feel like this yet. The visual acuity on this headset is incredible. I measured a 2030 visual acuity in the FOV measurement software. As you can see, this is better than all other headsets I've measured. So the lower this number, the better and further in the distance I can see. And I was also surprised that my 2080 Ti graphics card could handle this headset's resolution, my widescreen monitor right here and a second monitor so well too. The performance is better than I remember with the HP Reverb G2, even though the G2 has a lower resolution. This has to be because of the eye tracking and foveated rendering. However, my PC could not handle it with all games. In well-optimized games, it ran fine, but for resource-heavy games like Lone Echo 2, I had to dial it down. In the Varjo software, you can set the render resolution to a lower res for a better frame rate. There are a few more settings to play around with for performance, but once I found the settings that worked best, it performed well. Like, I put my render resolution on 80% and games like Lone Echo 2 worked a lot better for me while still looking great. What I did find was that some games take a very long time to load, sometimes they even load intensively choppy, and it's really intense if you're in the headset and have your eyes open. It even happened with Beat Saber sometimes, so I think this is a bug with the Vario software because it works well after the game loads fully. I'm guessing this should be fixable with like a software update. There is active cooling too. When I'm wearing it, I can actually feel the warm air blowing away to the top and then some cold air blows on my face, which is cool. However, there's loud fan noise. You can hear it when you're wearing the headset, but also when it's on your table. You can tune it out if you wear your own headphones, but using external speakers, it might be distracting. But in summary, I'm really happy with its performance, but be prepared to get a monster PC if you want the highest of the highest fidelity. And here's the thing, with the audio, it doesn't come with speakers nor microphones on the headset, but in the box it comes with in-ear headphones that includes a microphone. Unfortunately, these headphones weren't yet available, so I could not test this, but once I get my hands on this, I will share my impressions on my socials, so follow me there. But I have been using my own headphones with the 3.5mm audio jack on the side of the VR headset. Then I was surprised by another thing. The Vario software is mature for the consumer. The setup is easy to do. All you need to install is the Vario based software and also Steam VR. All else is similar to setuping any Steam VR headset. You can tell the Vario software was made for enterprise by the features, but it's actually all very handy. For example, you can turn on the headset's view, eye camera, and even a gaze dot so you can see what the VR player is looking at. Or you can use the pointer to help out someone who is in VR, as it will show them your mouse in VR in the game. There's also a developer analytics window with handy tools like this performance window, which you can use for troubleshooting or best settings. But my favorite part of the software is the workspace feature, where I can see my desktop streamed inside the headset and I can change the layout, size and position of my virtual desktop anywhere I want. So I can position it exactly what's comfortable for my body at that time. So I can just lay down and sleep and work or something. However, if I open a high contrasting window like white text on a black background, it does seem like I can see the dimming of the display mini LEDs, as it looks like it all flickers a bit when I look very closely. It's just not as comfortable as looking at an actual screen yet, but it is still so sharp, so it still became my preferred way of working, as I can make it so comfortable to my neck. I even wrote this whole script inside the headset. I haven't felt this way before with any other headset, and honestly, I almost can't believe that we're already here. Concluding, well, you can tell that I enjoyed the headset's fidelity a lot, and I can understand where the headset's price comes from. Vario has given a lot of thought to comfort, calibrated the display and lenses incredibly well, and included features you won't see in another headset yet. This combined makes the Aero one incredible headset, and for sure the best headset I've tried so far that anyone can buy. The biggest gripe is that, well, in the box you only get the headset, so take into account how much extra stuff you need to buy, like your own controllers and base stations. You need a powerful VR ready PC to run it, and everything combined is going to add up. Whether this is worth it depends on what you want it for and your budget. I think it's the most suitable for hardcore VR enthusiasts, like racing simulator fans where high fidelity is important. In my personal opinion, the average VR consumer may not get their money worth yet until we get a lot more games. But I did find it is the best device I've tried so far to use for work and gaming, which can be incredibly valuable to some too. In any case, Vario's innovation here are setting the stage for the future, and while they had to sacrifice some things to lower the price, the things they did include are amazing, and they're just the first. Seeing the latest trends, I don't see it far away in the future for more of these headsets to show up at more affordable prices, which is just really exciting. So what do you think about the headset? Would you get one now, and why? Let me know below. I'm giving away a random Steam VR game key for those who answer this question, so keep your notifications on. Thanks so much for being here, and a special thanks go to our champions, especially these patrons right here. And as always, VR